Hello everybody, good morning from Plant Reviews, today 15th of May, and I will talk today about a plant that I bought in a mini plant haul yesterday in nursery in Kent, Madrona Nursery, and hopefully I will make a video tomorrow about the nursery. It's a nursery selling very unusual and rare plants, so it's a nursery that definitely I like very much. I am an affection. I'm a very usual customers for from a few years. Um, so let's start with the Calycanthus. Calycanthus is a genus of flowers, a small genus of flowers in the family of flowering plants in the family Calycanthaceae, that in the order of laurels, so they are the order Laurales, and they are also related to magnolias. They belong together with laurels and other orders to a big group that magnolias are related. The scientific name Calycanthus comes from calyx for the shape of for the Greek calyx, and anthos for the flowers. Actually, the flower don't remind me much a calyx, except possibly for the inner part of the flower. Indeed, these flowers are made by a series of tepals, and to me, yeah, I can see the shape of the calyx in the inner part, while the outer rows of tepals are more they're arranged in a flatter manner, so it looks like actually, as you can see, a calyx inside a bowl, so to say. The genus Calycanthus is composed of deciduous shrubs, and there are commonly called sweet bushes, sweet shrubs, spice bushes, or allspices, due to the incredible fragrance of the flowers of these plants, in particularly of two species. The group is actually made of just three species, two from America and from North America, and one from China. They are usually shrubs spreading around 2-4 meters, and being 2-4 meters tall as well. The three species are the Carolina allspice, the Calycanthus floridus, that is distributed in the southeast of the USA, with dark red burgundy fragrant flowers; the California sweet shrub, the Calycanthus occidentalis, distributed in the southwest of the USA, that has fragrant red to purplish brown flowers; and the Calycanthus chinensis, the Chinese wax shrub from China, that has white pink flowers with yellow inner tepals, that I've read is not fragrant. Unfortunately, I don't have any of these shrubs, because especially the Carolina spice is supposed to be extremely fragrant, but also the California sweet shrub. However, yesterday, working in the nursery, I found this very beautiful hybrid of Calycanthus. It's called Calycanthus Venus, and I found on the webpage of the Missouri Botanical Gardens that is a very complex hybrid. Well, not very complex, is a complex hybrid of three species that are the three that I just mentioned. So the California sweet shrub, the Carolina allspice, and the Chinese wax shrub. You can actually see the resemblance of the white and kind of yellowish part of the calyx of the Chinese wax shrub. However, luckily, the fragrance was inherited for sure by the American ancestors. This is a plant that grows in the USDA zones 5 to 9, therefore is hardy in UK. The blooming, today is the 15th of May. Indeed, I read that the blooming of this plant is from May to July, and the flowers, as you can see, are white with purple and yellow center markings. The plant needs full sun to partial shade, very well drained but moist soil, but it's tolerant of different alkalinity and different kinds of soil. It adapts to different kind of soils. Prefer anyway rich, moist, loamy soils. As I said, it is a deciduous plant, and it is very bright green, as you can see. The foliage turning yellow to brown in autumn. The leaves are kind of ovate elliptical, I would say, and they are disposed in rows of two. I think this is a very vigorous plant because, well, I bought yesterday the biggest plant I could get, especially because the biggest and actually the uh, most fragrant flowers. There are only other two plants of this hybrid, the Calycanthus Venus. However, I found that the two smaller plants, even if the flowers were about the same size and shape, they were kind of less fragrant. Anyway, I'll get back to the fragrance later on. The shrub, it is the shrub, this plant that I bought, looks very vigorous, and I read also that the Calycanthus spread around through suckers, in addition, obviously, to produce seeds in autumn, winter. Obviously, this is a hybrid, so I don't know if this hybrid is fertile or not. However, the seeds in the species of Calycanthus are born on a brown fruit that becomes, sorry, in a kind of green. Yeah, when the fruit is developing, it becomes green and kind of wavy, undulated projections. Is very vaguely similar to a custard apple, very vaguely, and in autumn winter becomes brown, and the seeds are quite big inside the fruits, and the fruit stay attached to the mother plant, can be stay attached even for 1 year, and the seeds are kept in the fruits. They actually sometimes they even don't open unless you actually open them yourself, and they have a kind of velvety surface in the inner part. The seeds are quite black and quite big. If this Calycanthus will produce seeds, I would love to put, yeah, to grow some from my own garden, because this is a patented hybrid. However, if you breed this plant for seeds, bring a hybrid, you will not get plants like the mother plants. Therefore, there will be completely different plant, because the genetic background is completely different in the offspring in comparison to the mother plant. There will be completely different plant. And anyway, as I said, this is a hybrid of 3 species, so I'm not even sure if actually this hybrid is fertile or sterile, like many plant hybrids are. About flowers, the flowers are born in, I would say, profusion. As you can see, almost every branch of this plant has flowers. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, I'm counting 19 flowers probably there. Yeah, 20. Yeah, 20. So it's the flower. I read the flower themselves don't last for long. They last about just a few days. However, the flowers are born in a profusion from May to July. The flowers in the species are usually pollinated by beetles, and they are attracted mainly by the incredible fragrance of the flower. It's very difficult to describe the fragrance of this flower. However, is definitely fruity. Is not a floral fragrance. I really, what I can describe this fragrance is like a hint, some kind of pineapple, melon, banana, and strawberry. It's very difficult to describe, but the fragrance is really, really wonderful. It's actually one of my favorite fragrance. Indeed, I don't have much space in the garden, as you can see. However, when I found this plant yesterday, I really couldn't resist to buy it. I'm not too sure where I will put it. Probably I will cultivate it in a big pot, because this plant, this hybrid, is actually pretty suited for big pots. It's not a very big plant, so it is quite. It is actually a very good species for small gardens like mine. The flowers, as I said, are pollinated by beetles. Hope to get some seeds and find and do some experiments about if this hybrid is actually fertile, and see what will be the fragrance and the shape of the plants when they develop. Another nice feature of the Calycanthus is that their bark is perfume. It is a very strong camphor smell, and that's basically the this perfume is released if the stems are scraped, and also the smell remain strong on the twigs that have been stored for several years. As you can see, it is the leaves are actually quite distant, put decently arranged on the branches of the twigs of the plant, so you can easily see the bark of this plant. It's like a grayish bark. Yeah, it's not particularly ornamental, this one, but the rest of the plant is really gorgeous. As you can see, both the foliage, so bright green, and fragrant flowers as well. You can see the fragrance, the flowers already not only are fragrant, but they're really beautiful. They really look like small magnolias. The sides I've read can be up to 10 centimeters. Mine's are probably about 5 or 6 in diameter, so I'm not sure if the price is because the plant is small, or just because the size of flowers varies with the individuals in these hybrids. The other two plants of the same hybrid, is Calycanthus Venus, had flowers about the same size, just the fragrance was different, was less intense. The another characteristic of this plant is that Calycanthuses were used by Native Americans for medicinal purposes. Another talking about the fragrance is so nice in these flowers that the essential oil of the flowers, the Calycanthus oil, is distilled from the flowers and used in some perfumes as well. So definitely, if you have a small garden and you like fragrant flowers, this is a plant I can absolutely recommend. Uh, this is a hybrid I can recommend. I found yesterday there was another Calycanthus hybrid with very dark burgundy flowers, bigger. The flowers were incredibly beautiful, but I could detect only a very, very, very light fragrance. The plant also was much bigger, so really I wouldn't have had enough space to put it in the garden. Anyways, I said hopefully tomorrow I'll go back to the Madrona nursery to make a video, and I will, if it's still there, I will show the video of this other Calycanthus. I think it's called the Calycanthus Aphrodite, but I will check tomorrow morning. Um, by the way, the Calycanthus Venus is definitely a beautiful plant with a profusion of a fragrant white flower with a burgundy yellow-red, and the shape of the flower and the fragrance is absolutely amazing. So definitely an ideal plant if you want a fragrant garden and you don't have a big garden. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.